friends, and welcome back to Beloved Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Hey y'all, and happy Monday. Y'all gotta let me know how your week is starting out. What you guys are up to. Or if you're one of those, you just got out of school, just graduated, like how are you welcoming this summer? Or in the spring, however you look at it. Y'all gotta let me know all of that in the comment section below. Yeah, I really want to know, literally how y'all doing, how y'all feeling, like what are you up to, any plans? I know for me, I am definitely being intentional about taking some time to really enjoy the things that I really do enjoy. So that is my goal, that is my plan, for the summer. It's already kicking off very well for me because y'all already started reading some Amish fiction. Y'all know, if any of y'all been around the channel for a minute, you know during the spring and summertime, it's like my chance to get caught up on reading. Because I just can't seem to get around to that like other seasons of the year. So this is my time where I really go in, and I like to read a lot of fiction books. Usually Amish. So I'm very excited because I'm on chapter 9 of one of them right now, and it's so good, y'all. It is. I don't know if I'll be sharing some of that with y'all, maybe once a week or something. I know everybody ain't a reader, but at the same time, y'all know I love to be telling these characters business and all of that stuff. I just love these conversations. So I may do that at least once a week. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, and I also got a chance too, y'all, to get some flowers, some pink and purple flowers. Oh, they look so nice. I don't put them out and everything, so it's just giving off that peaceful comfort feel. Oh y'all, it looks really, really nice. I just want to say that, But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Follow Your Heart. You can find this film streaming right now on Hallmark Plus, but first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. Kathy Yoder is a travel writer who has left her Amish ways behind, but when she returns home to settle her father's affairs, she is tempted to return to her former lifestyle. Now, friends, y'all just heard me say how I really enjoy Amish fiction, reading those types of books, and definitely when we get movies like that, I'm so in. I just don't come across a whole lot of them as far as like as many of other films that we talk about. But yeah, when I do come across them, and usually Hallmark is very good about that, they tend to put out a few of those here and there. Yeah, but I would like more because I just really enjoy these stories, and they usually have that in common. A lot of them do, and even though they do, it's still like every story is so unique, and you just love it and love the characters even more. I don't know, it's so crazy because even though, like I said, it has that common theme, usually somebody who grew up in the Amish faith, and for one reason or another they leave it and find themselves being drawn back to it. Usually that seems to be the theme, even in books, but it's like, it's still good. It's just like Hallmark films, but y'all know it has that typical thing, happily ever afters, usually the cheesy kind of romantic thing. And look at us, we still can't get enough of it, okay? So that's how I usually go for a lot of the Amish fiction, which I find very comforting, like I said, very peaceful, whether it's in a book form or movie form. But yeah, getting back to these characters here in Follow Your Heart, I'm going to go ahead and call her Katrina because Kathy was the name that she went by when she went into the English world. But she grew up and her name is Katrina, so we're gonna call her Katrina, okay? But yeah, Katrina did grow up Amish. She has a sister. I'm not sure if her sister is a younger sister or older sister. I tried to figure it out as I was watching the film because it seemed like at times that she could have been the older sister, then at times she could have been a younger sister. Just seeing how she interacted with her sister, who chose to never leave the Amish faith, the Amish world, never leave the church or anything like that. And yeah, so Katrina had this desire because she wanted more. She wanted to see more, and it seemed to be there since she was a child, because when we go back to the flashbacks, we do see as she's hanging out with one of her childhood friends, Isaac, that she did bring up that conversation like, don't you want more, to see more? And you know, looking at it from the outside, someone like me who did not grow up Amish or that type of thing, or even grew up in a family where your parents or guardians made sure that, hey, you need to stay in the word, you need to put this first, and like really be on you about that. So I did have a lot of freedom in that particular arena. You know, nobody was over me. You know, it's saying you need to believe, you need to do this, you need to read your word, you need to go to church and all of this stuff. So I didn't grow up like that with someone forcing it on me. And so looking at someone who grew up this way like Katrina, this was her ways, her family ways, that they had to go to church, they had to read their Bibles, they probably had to have devotional time and all these types of things. And I'm like, and I don't know, maybe because I didn't grow up this way, maybe that's probably why I feel this way. But when I look at it from a person who, you know, they grew up this way, this was just your ways, I feel like that was a wonderful thing to have. Like, I would have loved that. But I know I'm only speaking from the outside because I didn't grow up that way. I don't know if I would have felt that way if I really did grow up that way. And when Katrina is like, she managed to accomplish everything that she wanted to. She wanted more than what she was obviously offered and grew up around. She wanted to see the world, see the hands of God, his creation. Like, it's so much to your world and the world that you're living in. And I get that, and she loved, and it's been like, I don't know, like 10 years or so, but she did manage to keep in contact with her dad, not so much the sister, but she did write back, you know, send things back that like try to help her family, and at least offer to help her family, because she not only like went out and left the Amish world, but she succeeded in the English world. She's a huge writer, like doing very, very well. And she's with an agency, and she's thriving. So much so, she's being offered a television show. She's in a relationship with a guy named Jack, who is just as ambitious as she is. Like, he wants more and more success. And that seems like what Katrina is on, but she done got to a point where what she was on, I'll say that. But she done got to a point where she's just, it seems like she's tired. Like nothing is fulfilling her anymore. After you done got so far, you done reached, I guess, a certain status of success. It's like, what's left? And I think that's what she's dealing with at this point in her life. So when she does, and I guess tired of the busyness too, because what comes with success is not only, yeah, you get all the perks of it, having the income and different things, but do you get to really enjoy it? And we don't really see Katrina really get to enjoy it. It's like everything, her schedule is made for her. It's constant interviews, it's constantly promoting her writings and different things like that. It's like, when do you have time to sit down and take it all in? And it does make me think about the people who we consider successful in our world today. I wonder about that. Like, how is that for a person who may not even be able to simply go to the grocery store and do things that, you know, that we everyday people can just do? We don't think twice about it. But someone who's on that particular status where everyone knows your name, everyone seems to be a fan or take some kind of liking to you, how is that to do the simple things in life? Can you really enjoy those types of things? Or you're constantly, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And that's probably where Katrina was at, this crossroads here. And then on top of that, she gets this phone call letting her know that her dad had passed away and she needs to come back home and handle those affairs or whatever. And she does agree to come back home, but all of that kind of hits her, because it's like, even though she kept in contact with her dad, she wrote him, but all of this time she was away from them. She hadn't been back home in, like I said, a decade. And you got so caught up in this English world that you miss all of these things that you can't get back. All of that time that you could have got spending time with your dad and your family and different things like that. And now you can't bring your dad back. And these kind of things just really, like, y'all, like, hit you in the face when we think about things from different perspectives. And I'm taking it all in, looking at this character Katrina, you know, trying to take in different lessons from her life. And it's success. It's like, how bad do you want it? And is it worth it? Like, seriously, is it worth it? Or is it far better to simply enjoy life as is, whatever that may be for you. You may have different dreams and goals and certain kind of status you may want to get to, and nobody's saying not to have that, but it's like you don't want to forget and lose those things that are important and the values along the way. If it's going to cost you all of those things, then you're probably better off leaving it alone. At least that's how I feel, and I'm looking at that, and it just breaks your heart that Katrina, she can't get back those moments with her dad. Sit there and talk to him face to face and really pour out her heart to him. Yes, she did certain things through letters, but your physical presence was absent all of this time, and you don't really know how your dad truly felt, what he was thinking at that time, like what were your family going through, like seriously going through all of this time you were gone. And she's just hit with this as soon as she gets back home. Like, her sister is not welcoming to her. Miriam is like, she don't want to have nothing to do with her. She feels like we don't owe you anything. You made your decision, a decade ago. You left us. You chose to be selfish, to go after what you wanted. That was so important to you. Then let it be important to you now. Like, just leave. And that was her sister attitude, on top of like the love of her life. She kind of left him hanging in the balance, where he had to kind of accept what she wanted and move on with his life, which he did. And he has a daughter, and everything is, he chose to stay in the faith, stay with the church, and all of these things are just hitting Katrina in the face, and it makes her question, did she make the right decision? Like, what did she truly gain when she left this world that meant so much to her family, and even meant so much to her? Because as she's going through the motions, being back home, revisiting friends and family, enjoying the Amish land, sitting out, by the water, or by the pond, I was saying, because they're not like by the ocean or anything, but sitting out there and simply enjoying, the sun just shining upon you, and just the quietness, and seeing and hearing the sounds of nature. And it's just all like, wow, this is a treasure. None of this I could experience or enjoy in the English world. And it was such a blessing that ultimately, of course, I was going to tell you that she did make the right decision. I feel like she made the right decision. Of course, we're going to get into all of that, but I still want y'all to have, a little journey along the way like I did. But what I do want to point out with this review is, like, even us, many of you watching this is probably, well, most likely not of the Amish faith or living in the Amish country, because of course they don't have access to electricity and watching these types of things. So I'm sure most likely you're not from that world, but we can take at least some important values from that world, and that is to put God first. That is what's truly important. It's not about success and all of these things that the world try to make us. It's about like being in this rat race, trying to go to the next thing, get to the next level in your life. And it's like, slow down, enjoy where you are, because you're not going to get this time back. You're not going to get these moments back that you have right now in whatever season of your life that you're in, whatever it is, in every state. To be content, knowing that God is truly what's more important than anything. Him, His love, doing what He asks you to do, prayer, family, just doing the right things. And I want to say that because I know that can kind of be like, not necessarily go over somebody's head, but feel like, like it's not the most popular thing. It's not like what people are talking about everywhere and saying this is life's ultimate goal here. You don't really hear that. So I do want to put it out there that yes, slow down and enjoy life. Enjoy the gifts and the blessing that God has given you, because you're not going to get this time back again. No day repeats itself in the exact way that you experienced it before. So yes, learn from Katrina here. Learn from this type of life. And this is a person who got to the top of her field. She visited practically everywhere that she could lay eyes on, made the amount of money, and had the fame, the success in every single thing that her heart set out to do, and that still did not fulfill her. It still left her void, incomplete. It left her yearning for something that she couldn't even quite put her finger on. But yeah, I want to get into Also, like I said, her childhood friend Isaac, who chose to stay in the faith, and he ends up, moving on with his life when Katrina chose the path that she wanted to go down. But yeah, seeing that he was so gifted, not only with his hands, his craftsmanship, but he was also a writer in his own right. Writing poetry was not necessarily accepted by the church. It was something that he kind of kept to himself, and Katrina stumbled upon. But she realized, like, wow, this guy has so much talent, a gift that the world could really use. He can really go far with this thing. And yet he chose to, that wasn't important to him. What was important is being present, enjoying the gifts that God has given him, and using them for God's glory, even if it is in the silence and the darkness between him and God. No other person had to know about it. And that is something you do not even hear in our world that we're living in. It's like everybody is so quick, they gotta show off everything. They gotta show off whatever gifts, whatever talents, whatever treasures. They gotta talk about it. They have to put it all out there, and for whatever, who knows, I can think of a ton of reasons, as you probably can think of a ton of reasons why people choose to do this, why people feel like they have to get some kind of glory and praise for anything, because it's truly not about us. But it's a special person, it's a special individual who can have so much to offer, and chooses to be in the quiet, in the stillness, and not to flaunt anything, not to have to show it off or anything, but choose to be humble and live in that humility. And that was the character Isaac, which I adored in this film, because like I said, you don't see it, you don't even hear about it like that. And he was such a treasure, not only for me but he was also for Katrina, to remind her truly of where she's come from and who is truly about. Even the gifts, the talents, the blessings, they all come from God. It has nothing to do with you at all. It is all for him, ultimately for his glory. So he doesn't need validation from anyone, outside of our Creator. And it was so beautiful to take in everything, the wisdom that Isaiah had gained over the years. And Katrina was taking a seat to life lessons, because she done been on the other side. She's been on our side, the world that we're living in, that says it is okay to be the best of the best. It is okay to want all the money, the fame and glory and all these types of things. That's what our world says. And it was amazing that she had to go back home and be reminded of what it's truly about. And so it was such a journey that Katrina went on, and we were right there along the way with her and to see that she had to come to those crossroads to choose. Are you going to choose life or death? And we are faced with that same question every day, the same question in the Word of God. He says choose, but he even done us something better, y'all. He gave us the answer. Y'all know when y'all take a test, right? And I did not like that in school. You take a test and there is a right and a wrong answer. And of course, they're not going to tell you what the answer is. The whole point of a test is to see how much you've known, how much knowledge you gained up until this point. But God is so gracious to us, especially for people like me who we know are probably not, who probably wasn't the best of testers here. Test takers here, that he gave us the answer. He said choose life, or I said before you life and death, choose life. And it's thank you. I know I love to have a good time, and it's just certain things I haven't even thought about that scripture. I can't think of any time recently, but to see how he just dropped that in my spirit, and for us to get on there and talk about that is so fun and amazing to me. It just reminds me how much he loves me. But anyways, once again, this film is titled Follow Your Heart, streaming right now on Hallmark Plus. But before I leave you all for this evening, let's go ahead and get into the scripture. And so we are coming out of Matthew chapter 6. I remember that. From Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. And it reads, but seek first the kingdom of God and his holiness, righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Let me know if you have watched this film, what are your thoughts about it, what are your takeaways from it, or just by simply hanging out with me just now, you're like, oh, I gotta check this thing out. Let me know all of that in the comment section below. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.